was a long home run. They get teletape of that one.
We were just talking to went into the portal.
Let's see what the StatCast knows.
A lot of things have been going in the portal, okay? A lot of things have been going in the portal. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to ask. I mean, Chris is the guy that's on every part of the spectrum at some point in the year, as far as productivity, non-productivity. But when he has a day like today.
Well, the guy's going to hit 40 home runs and drive in 100 runs. I mean, what are you going to, post up every day? And like a story I told you last night, that him playing the last inning or two last night might have been the key to tonight, the rest of our season. Those are little things that people don't just go unnoticed, and that's why, it's always about the end game and the sum of the work. And it's a long, grinding season that, it's one of those that you wait till the smoke clears and you look back at it. But right now you're in the moment and you're in every pitch, and people want you to hit can you imagine having that type of power at your fingertips every time you swing the bat? And if people get frustrated when he doesn't do it every time out, can you imagine how frustrated an athlete gets like that? So I think he wears it real well, all things considered, and the expectations that he's created by his talent. That was pretty good.
What was his wording last night? You said it's all the same to you? Was that what?
Yeah. It was respectful. I like leaving in the game, but I also am not, you pick your spots and you can get them off their feet. These guys play 7 days a week. We've had, off days spent traveling to another country. I mean, there's no real off time.
Speaking of power, Scope's home run was
not
a cheapie either. I mean, how big was that?
It's big for John. John, like just about all our guys, want something. They want it so much. It's hard when you get it. There's such a release because you're wanting to do something every time up. And I think what John's learning that, and little by little, is that you can't let something snowball. You have a couple of bats that don't go your way or play, and you go out there and you got to keep grinding. It's going to come back around. That's why it's the greatest team sport invented, because you don't get to hit when you want. It's your turn. You're one of the team that gets a turn to hit. There's some great defensive plays tonight. They'll be forgotten. Stevie, I don't know, that looked like, would that have been a home run? The foul pole wasn't kind to us tonight. The other ball's obviously foul. It's just they don't have we had a pretty good angle. I don't know if they had it, but what are you going to do? The pole doesn't go up any higher than that. But it was foul. But I knew they probably weren't going to overturn it unless they got the same angle we had.
Do you remember remember the first time you ever saw Scope, spring training or wherever it was you saw Scope? Is it amazing the strength that he displays now?
Spending time with mom and dad, and his brother, he's pretty good stock. And John early on reminded me of you've seen the fawns that are delivered and they're trying to get their legs under them and they can't quite stand up, and it was good, huh? It really, and now his legs, I noticed last spring that his legs and everything had caught up with the rest of his body, and he's doing fine for a college senior. He and Manny, I try to keep it in mind, but John's so easy to pull for because he's such a sincere, type of kid you'd like to have your daughter walk through the door with. He's good people.
I mean, you never question the effort, but when you see Pierce rob the home run, Adam throws a guy out the plate, come back from 4 down, 2 down in the 9th and win the game. I mean, how proud are you of that? Yeah, I mean, I'm proud every night. I understand how hard this is, almost to a fault. And as long as the want-to's there and our guys are sincere, and that's why I'm frustrated for them, and I hurt for them, and obviously our fans and stuff, because I know how everybody wants it as much as so September's an eternity. I'd keep never know. We got a tough row ahead of us, but so do they.
I mean, you were talking about the home run, he hit last night, but does he suspect that he's about to get into one of those streaks? That he's Chris? That
no,
he's almost...
no. It'll be up to Hutchinson, what kind of streak he gets into. You can't. It's not that you just don't dial it up. Okay, it's my time and it's a streak, so here we go. I mean, it doesn't do it. It just doesn't work. I wish it did, where we could dial it up. Well, it's that time he's at X number or whatever. Once again, I'll tell you, can you imagine having that type of talent, that type of strength, whatever, and not always? First of all, the other team doesn't cooperate all the time. It wasn't a real hard decision putting a green light on there. Okay, that wasn't Einstein. That's pretty easy, but I don't know. There was another real good defensive play I thought tonight. Parr made a big play. I knew that Zach was going to pitch tonight some form or fashion, and Darren, I didn't want him to sit around 4 days. So we just flip-flopped them there in the 8th and 9th because we didn't have anybody really to match up against where they were in the order. And I didn't think they would pinch hit with the lead they had with the 2 defensive plus guys they had hitting there.
What did you see from Gossman, and do you think that home run call maybe affected him a little bit?
I don't know. First of all, I'm biased. I think it was foul, but it wasn't like he hit it off the end of the bat. He squared it up pretty good. And Aaron Sevia's been very good in this park for a long time. It's one of the reasons why we looked at him a lot this spring. But I don't think so. Gosh, he just wasn't very crisp tonight. Just never really. I think Longoria hit an 88-mile-an-hour changeup. He just didn't get enough off of it. And he's been pitching real well. Tonight wasn't one of them.
Tonight's extra innings going to affect what kind of roster decision you might make in the next 24 hours?
I think it will probably make us continue down the road we were going to anyway. We had some plans. Darryl Alvarez will be optioned to Frederick tonight after we get done, where he talked to him a little bit. And that will keep him available to either come back after their season's over on Monday-ish, or could option him to Norfolk, the way I understand it, or he can do none of the above. So it just keeps all our options open. It doesn't. I think the thing is he can get into Canada, but may have some trouble getting back. He just has a green card issue, I believe. A lot of it has to do with the fact that he established residency in Mexico instead of somewhere else.
Is Miguel going to be put on the DL?
Not yet. See what's changed since the game started, because the only way we really do that is if we need the 10-day period not to work on the person that's coming back. Does that make sense? I'm glad you got it.
So you plan on adding just a hitter in Toronto to replace Alvarez, or could you add some more pitching?
If I'm a betting man or woman, I would bet we'd add one pitcher and one position player. But that can change between here and my office. They're always got something blowing around. How did we do in Norfolk? Anybody know?
Toledo went for a while.
Really? Well, they needed to win one of those. Wally was making some calls down there about, we're trying to leave them alone, but also some limitations on some of the pitching, I think.
Well, it looked like Chris got some nice hang time on that bat flip after that walk-off. I would imagine you're not a bat flip kind of guy, but given the couple weeks.
Not I am. They can,
Given the couple weeks that the team's had.
No, bat flip. I mean, the game's, I'm not near the, I can tell you, when things like that happen, some guy bunts on the road, say in Kansas City, 7 runs up, and all I do, it's their game, okay? I look, and who might impose the will how I was brought up in the game 30, 40 years ago, whatever it was. Something happens on the field like that, I just look at my players, and if it's important to them, it's something that they react to. Things, I sit and talk with Rick Dempsey and John Russell and all of us the way things were and whatever. It doesn't make them right or wrong. I don't. Last thing I'm going to do is suppress a personality. I've got to be boring. There's a time and place for everything. Game's over.
Symbolic, though, of the sense of relief.
I don't know. Sense of relief, it's 48 hours, and there's another challenge around the corner. What's it mean? It means we won a game that we earned, scratching and clawing, and we'll see what Friday brings.